certain artists, certain music.
Ooh, that's a crazy take from you.
I love that he said it, bro.
Because it's just, bro, there's just like, so I was in like this aux battle and I was one of the judges, and it was just a bunch of underground artists, like, you know, SoundCloud rappers, up and coming artists, stuff like that. And I was just listening to some of these songs and I'm like, either like I'm just out of it or this is actually ass. It's like the production, the way they're rapping, and it's like they got a fan base. And I was giving my takes as a judge, and chat was saying I'm old and don't know what I'm talking about. But I feel like some people are pretending to like it just because it's like the newest cool thing to like, and I don't know. I can't stand behind it, bruh. Even with some of like Cardi's songs, like he had a feat.
All right, so basically, ImDontai just went on a podcast, and of course, I just played the clip for you so you know what he said. But I'll just sum it up. He basically said that underground music was trash. A lot of these artists aren't really making anything remotely good, and most of the people who are supporting it were just supporting it because they're trying to be cool or like be in the know of like what's cool and trendy right now, which I'll explain why I think he's actually not totally wrong, and that him as the OG he is of this whole underground scene, I'm joking by the way, and the morally righteous person he is, cannot get behind this. Anyways, let's get into it. First off, let's start off with what other people had to say. So some people were like, bro, he's right. Other people were like, bro, he's old as hell. This one guy named Nico Woodyear, shout out if you know who that guy is, that he's right on both sides. He has grown out of it, but people do just gas stuff up to say they're an OG in case it blows up. This guy's literally 30. Of course he would say this. Wait, ImDontai 30? ImDontai age 31 years old. Okay, starting to make more sense. I didn't realize he was that old. Dante cooking. He absolutely speaking facts. Another person said, either I'm just out of it, bro, you're 31. Of course you're obviously out of it. And yeah, a lot of people were just saying he was just old. But you know, at the end of the day, I would say this clip, out of a lot of the clips I've talked about and I've just seen, and you guys have probably seen, had the most split audience. You know, usually underground fans, they're like huge haters, or they'll just be like huge glazers. Kind of hard to explain. But for some reason, there were a bunch of reasonable people in both these comment sections. But anyways, there were a lot of just like, yo, you're super old, bro. Like, of course you're saying this. So, you know, I'll just explain what I think. The first time he said, yo, I was listening to these artists and man, they were just trash. Okay, I believe he's talking about like Xavier Sobeys. He was definitely talking about him, and I forget there's another one. And he might also be, I don't think it was that specific aux battle he was in, but I believe he also said something about Netspend. And even people like Your Age have also said Netspend is trash. Your Age is, by the way, he's like 26. So before we get into any of this, I would just want to say one thing, like Netspend and like Xavier Sobeys aren't really meant for people over the age of like 21. So they kind of like lost their target audience with a lot of these people. For example, ImDontai is 31 years old. Like, I'm not gonna lie, if he thought Netspend was hard, it would be a little funny, but also be just like a little weird. Like, bro, why are you listening to Netspend? Like, geek, 2024. 2020, like 2016, like bro, okay, come on, man. So I kind of get where he's coming from there. Like, he's way too old for this music, but he also says it's trash. But I guess the dichotomy is like, if you are that old, you're supposed to think it's trash. So I don't really know why people are reacting to it like this. However, he says some other things as well. He said that, yo, I personally think that most of these people who are listening to this music, they don't even like it. They just want to be ahead. And I somewhat agree with them. So I'll say this. You know, there's some artists like Xavier Sobeys and Fresh Boy Swag where I think a lot of the kids that listen to them genuinely like it. Because you understand, like, when you're young, like I'm pretty young, your taste buds are pretty open. They're not open-minded, but you're pretty open to hearing different styles of music. Like, you're not gonna, sure, you might think something's trash, but you might also just be accepting of it, you know, just be like, oh, okay, because like, I don't know if about you guys, but I'll give you an example. So when I first listened to Blade, it was like 5, or I think it was like 6 years ago, or 7 actually, I'm not sure. I remember I thought it was hella weird. I was like, what? And then I listened to like a couple more songs, because I'm not gonna lie, other people were listening to it, so I was like, there's gotta be something about this guy. And I was a fan of Young Lean too. And I was like, oh, this is actually pretty hard. And I messed with it, you know? And ever since then, I've been a fan. So sometimes things just don't click on the first listen. And a lot of music is like that. It takes like a couple listens. And I wouldn't say that makes it trash. It just makes it, I wouldn't even say experimental. It's just like literally just different. Not even trying to be corny. However, on the flip side, there are a lot of people, I feel like, I don't know if you remember, I made a video once on like the New York Times official podcast talking about like net spend and Xavier So Based, and they take like this one drill song and pretend like that's what their whole wave is when it's really not. And they also talk about net spend being like really influenced by Matt Ox, and they call him like post Matt Ox. It's just super obvious that they have no clue what's going on. Those guys were like 50 years old, so it was kind of just them knowing who net spend is a little concerning. I'm just joking. Music is their job, but that's enough. So what I'm saying here is a lot of times a lot of these older people who just want to be like seen as cool, and by older I don't really mean older, I mean like 25 to 30, they're probably listening to net spend or like Xavier So be like, yo, what is going on, and maybe just trying to go along with it. Sure, there are probably some people too that just thinks it is cool, but I don't really think people will think you're cool if you listen to like Fresh Boy Swag or like Xavier So Based or net spend. I'm not gonna lie, I think it's cooler if you hate on them. Like, if you just say they're trash, you're just, or not cool, I think it's just as cool. Like, I don't think like super socially accepted or whatnot to listen to them. So he also says that like, yo, they have fan base. So, and of course they have fan base, bro. Like, you wouldn't be hearing them and whatnot. I'm not gonna go to all of that, but he was really just saying a lot of like, dang, this is not that special. He was really just like confused why people were listening to it, and he was just trying to explain like, yo, this is trash. He was almost trying to like talk some sense into everyone. So anyways, I'm gonna get back to speaking. My friend Big Lab Johnson is about to hop on, and he's about to yap for like 4 minutes, and then I'm gonna come back and yap. So I think I'm gonna coin the term yap sandwich. I think this is gonna be the first of many yap sandwiches, but anyways, I'm gonna let him speak.
Look, I kind of agree with ImDontai on this situation, because there's some underground artists that are considered to be freaking garbage, I'm gonna be honest, and we're trying to hype them up like they're freaking Jesus, and it's kind of getting annoying. And the reason why I kind of feel this way as well is because we're dropping some of these underground artists that careers are not even totally done so fast. So we drop down Sofago just because what? He has a bad team? We kill Summer's career because what? He dropped one mediocre project? We're trying to kill Lone's project because, or not even trying to give him a second listen because of what? Oh, he dropped If Looks a Kill and it was a little slower than the other projects he dropped previous before his career. That doesn't make any type of sense. And then we just keep shifting to the new artist, to the new artist, to the new artist, just because we want a dopamine spike of new and fresh sounds. And I do agree with the young niggas a little bit, because Dante is old. He is. He old as shit. On God. On God, he old. Old as shit. But here's the point. As you get older, you become more strict with your music. Because the things that we liked in 2016, when I was 16 years old, I don't like now. I don't like meme rap as much as I used to. That's why y'all don't see me saying, oh, I'm a big fan of Laser. Nah, I had Ugly God, I had other rappers, I had Little Pump, I had Smoke Purple. They were cool too. I loved them. But now, as I'm realizing they were just making bullshit music just because it was making the money, they didn't really actually care for rap. I'm kind of seeing that now as I'm getting older, and I'm realizing, and my frontal lobe has developed, and realizing some of this shit is bullshit, and some of these guys are just using this for financial gain. And I'm seeing it right in front of my eyes. Same thing for Dante. He's seeing it right in front of his eyes, and he's realizing, these is not that good, but hey, to each his own, they got a fan base. And sometimes Dante is just not gonna get it. He's just not gonna see the vision of some of these underground artists who are going up exponentially, and then he sees it and he sees it as bull. That's just him. That's what the beautiful side of music is, an interpretation, because music is art. Art is an interpretation. So whatever you interpret and see as art, like Netspin, and some people see Netspin as just a white boy just saying bullshit on the mic, that is art to you, not to everybody else. I just don't like the way you guys are treating ImDontai, because he doesn't like the new wave of the underground. It's okay to not like it. Some of these people who are in this space, such as me, don't like it as much as they used to, or just don't like the current faces of underground rap as of right now. And if we're being real here, let's be honest, the media literacy in the underground is very poor. I'm gonna be honest, you guys have no taste. Not because you like the things that I like or like the things that I'm into. No, if I ask you to describe what you like, you couldn't describe it. If I ask you what to dislike or what you dislike about this artist, you couldn't describe it either. So cut the bullshit, because some of this y'all hate about some of these artists doesn't make any sense, and some of the things y'all like about these artists doesn't make any sense either. If I ask you why you like Netspin, you yell aura in my face like a grown-ass man. You're 20 years old, 18 years old, and you're telling me you like Netspin because of his aura? Then I agree with Dante. I can't believe some of y'all pretending to like this shit, for real. Look, if you're trying to have sex with your favorite artist, have sex with your favorite artist. I don't give a damn. Some of you guys really do be trying to bust your favorite artist. That's okay with me. But we're not gonna sit here and act like Dante is not a GOAT in the game and he hasn't been playing for the underground for a couple of years. Respect your goddamn elders before you get slapped in the mouth. So for the most part, just chill. If he doesn't see it for what it is and doesn't see that there's a lot of good gems in here, he doesn't see it. And if he sees everybody is just playing around in this community, then that's what he sees. Because sometimes I don't like to listen to a bunch of deep all the time. I don't want to be a Kendrick Lamar ass. Sometimes put on some lasers, sometimes put on some net, sometimes put on some bass. You get what I'm saying? It's cool, it's here and there, it's kind of fun. But if he doesn't see that for what it is, then that's on him. Can't do nothing about it. I hope y'all like, share, and subscribe, and we tune in to another video.
Alright, so round of applause for Big Labs Johnson. Of course, he's fire. If you liked what he said or anything he said, make sure you go and subscribe to him. I'll link him in the description and in the pinned comments, of course. Anyways, he talked about a lot of things and made a lot of great points, which I really liked. So let's go over it. So first of all, he said a lot of these artists only have they only have careers, or these little stints of careers, because we keep dropping down and like dropping artists that are doing well in the underground or reasonably well, but they'll just have like a little slump. So he said, yo, so Fago's team hasn't really been supporting him well and pushing him well, so we just dropped him. Destroy Lonely had a little slump with one album, like, oh, he's done. You know, Ken Carson kind of escaped the underground, Yeats kind of escaped the underground, and those are like the super mainstream ones I'm talking about. And he said, yo, so we're so addicted to like this shiny object syndrome with artists and this instant gratification that whoever we see will just be like, oh, this is the next big thing, screw all these guys, like they're next up. And you know, he has a point. You know, a lot of times underground fans will write off artists super fast. They love to see artists rise as fast as they fall. Like, trust me, like, or not trust me, you guys know. Anyways, he also makes a really good point about Dante's age. So he says, as you become older, you become more strict, and you know, you just don't want to listen to what you think is BS. So you're just not as open-minded. Like, as I said earlier, you know, you really don't want to try and be like, all right, why is this so cool? You know, he's 31 years old. He's got enough music to listen to. Anyways, he said, I already was through my little like era of meme rap where I was listening to Ugly God, Lil Pump, and Smoke Perp. And I remember listening to those guys in like 5th, 6th grade. It was like, dang. But I guess I'm still kind of young, so I still kind of, I wouldn't say meme rap. Like, I wouldn't really say Laserdim's meme rap like he said, but I get it. I get why you wouldn't want to listen to them. I'll also say that like I remember listening to them back then. I remember people would be like, yo, that stuff is trash, and I actually thought it was like the hardest music of all time. Like, I thought D Rose by Lil Pump was so hard, and looking back, I cannot listen to any of that. Maybe like some songs, like a handful, but for the most part, it's all like so bad. So yeah, I definitely agree with him there. He said his frontal lobe has developed. I guess mine just has it. Anyways, he also says that they're using us for financial gain. I guess he just means that like these underground artists, these people are just like playing you. I don't really think anyone's playing anyone. I think everyone's just having fun. If you really think of it and like do the math, none of these underground artists are making that much money. Like, the successful ones are making like 100K maybe. The successful ones, like really successful ones. And I'm not talking about like Destroy Lonely or something. I just mean like in the middle, successful. Those guys are making a ton because they can tour. Maybe like Laserdym is making really good money right now. Not really good money. He's making like good money right now. He's very hot, but you know, careers require longevity. So I wouldn't really say that like, man, they're just getting rich off of them. No, it's not like that. Anyways, he also says that music is an interpretation, you know? It's art. Some people like it, some people don't. So respect when someone does it. And he says Netspin is art. To some kids, of course. And I agree. So, you know, at the end of the day, like, everyone has different music tastes. That's for sure. He also said people are treating Dante very poorly. I don't really think people are treating him poorly. I think some people are just like, oh, you're old man. And that's like a classic response, especially from these fans that are young. And even I was kind of like, oh yeah, he's kind of old. I mean, look at the thumbnail. But, you know, I feel like both sides are kind of right. You know what I mean? At one point, at one side, you're like, you're older. So you're like, yo, this isn't, come on, like really? And what do you expect from young kids too? To be like, yo, yeah, you're right, man. Here are your flowers. I'm Dante. You're such a goat in the underground scene. Thank you for putting on for us. They're just gonna be like, you're old, man. Get out. Pack it up, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's really how they're gonna treat him. And I don't think he's getting bullied or anything. I just think the clip went up, you know? He also said the media scene is very poor. Hey man, come on, dude. I'm just kidding. He also said a lot of people just don't know why they like who they like. So for example, he said, yo, if I ask someone why they like Netspend, they're gonna be like, he has aura. I mean, they're not, I'm just kidding. But, you know, and finally he says, hey, I don't always want to listen to deep stuff. I don't want to listen to like Kendrick Lamar 24/7. I don't want to listen to J. Cole. So like a lot of times I'd rather just listen to these underground artists, put them on, and it's like, yeah, it's cool, you know? And I agree with him, you know? I feel like a lot of the music doesn't have a lot of meaning like that. I'm sure there's definitely some. Like I would even go as far to say as like Netspend or Samuson's music has. There's emotion in there. You can just hear it in like their voice, and they might not always say like, it's not going to be like written rap like Kendrick Lamar where it's like bars and this and they're double entendres and stuff. And it's like no, you know, of course not. But it's not like completely brain dead. It's not like, you know what I mean? It kind of is. I'm not gonna lie. It's still hard, but you know, at the end of the day, not everyone is trying to hear like super deep lyrical schmirical stuff, and that's not really what Dante said, but he just added that, so I wanted to add what I thought about it as well. So other than that, I would say that the entire like underground scene or whatnot in general is supposed to not be understood by older people, as corny as that sounds. So you know, when I'm guessing, not what I'm guessing, so like Lil Uzi, Lil Pump, Lil Peep, X, you know, Smoke Perp, all those artists and that whole underground wave from Florida and all those like OG, you know, like Threshold, whatever you want to like say, all those artists, when they all came up in like 2015, 2016, 2017, that was about 9 to 7 years ago. At that age, Dante was 22 to 24, right? Or no, he's 31, I think. Or is he 31 or 32? I'm not sure. He was like 21, 24 to 24ish, right? So he was relatively young. At that time, that was when his ears were like more open-minded. We're like, oh, okay, this is probably fire. Oh, this is cool. You know, oh, this is new, this is different. This is what I want to listen to. So I guess he was the young kid back then. I'm sure people were also saying the same to him. I can't really think of who the 31 or 32-year-old would be back then. It would probably be people like Ebro and I don't know. You know, like those hip-hop radio show hosts. And he was the one, like, do you remember when Lil Yachty, like, believe it or not, Lil Yachty used to be like the most ignorant, that was his entire persona, being super ignorant. He would be like, oh man, I don't care, I'm just having fun. I don't know if you know this, but there's this clip on Everyday Struggle where Joe Budden is like, you should know, you gotta know the details of your contract, man. Like, oh, how can you disrespect hip-hop? Like, and Lil Yachty's just like, chill, man, I'm just having fun. And he had his like red braids and dyed hair, and it was like, and then, you know, there's Lil Pump, just like an old head's nightmare. So if you really look relatively, what these people are doing is not that crazy, in my opinion. Like, Netspend is not like doing something super disrespectful. You know, I don't know if you remember this, like Lil Xan, he said that like Tupac wasn't a legend or something, and I believe Lil Yachty said that that he couldn't even name 5 Tupac and Biggie songs, and he laughed about it. And then, you know, you look at him now when he's older and he says, yo, I think hip-hop is in a very bad spot right now. People just aren't being as creative. People aren't doing that much different, you know. And, you know, he himself was very critical of hip-hop and where it is and the youth and whatnot. Do you see how like it's a constant cycle and people always do the same thing over and over again? And speaking of old heads, you know, he originally, in that clip, he was referring to an Ox battle where it was him, I believe Blackboy Max, Patrick CC, ImDontai, maybe your age, I'm not sure. But, you know, even others, I believe like Patrick CC also, I believe when Pitchfork rated Xavier So Bass's album like a 7 or 8, was like, oh, we're cooked, man. So I'm guessing he also dislikes it. If you don't know, Patrick CC, he does like these really cool documentaries now on his main channel and does some commentary stuff and a little live stuff here and there and some fun stuff. But he actually came up covering underground rap, but like the emo rap side. So he was really into, actually it was like a whole scene, so I'm not going to go into all the artists, but he was really into the underground like SoundCloud rap scene at the time. So he was tapped in. I believe he's 26 or no, he's 28 or he's 26 or 28. I think he's 26. I'm not sure. Let's do the math again. 2017, you know, 7 years. He was like 19 to 21, right? Or maybe 22. I might be a little off. He was young once again. He was getting into this music because, you know, that was what was new. You know, he was more open-minded probably. It was like, oh, this is different. This is cool. I resonate with this. That's what I want to listen to. And now he's older, and there's artists like Xavier. So basically, like, this is trash. But, you know, he was the age that he once was, and the same kind of like headspace you are at that age. He'd probably be messing with that. I'm not gonna lie, because it would be the new stuff that the generation is listening to. So all I'm saying is, it's like, it's not really meant for people ImDontai's age, and it's also just funny how like the same cycle just repeats itself. Anyways, that's all I really have to say. Let me know what you thought of this yap sandwich or whatever the hell we're calling it. If you heard some like scruffle noises, it's because I recorded this video in my bed. Like I just like moved the mic arm hella inconveniently. So yeah, that's why you hear like sounds like this and stuff. That's my pillow. Anyways, take care. Have a nice day. Make sure you subscribe to Big Lap Johnson. He's fire. He's got the East Saint Laurent profile picture. I believe he was like posted up at his mentor's funeral in that picture, in his profile picture or something. But anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you had a nice day, and see you tomorrow. Bye.